Hola, City Wars, Gunguku, Strictly Football. Welcome to your premier football show right here as we give you this lovely podcast. My name is Valentine Mabugu, and as always, I know everyone is talking about the new signings in the European calendar, but we're not getting delving into that. I'm just a man who never walks alone. I've got Mr. Chinorai.
You already need. What do you mean you're not going to dive into that? Because
I didn't mean to get into it. I'm not yet to get into it.
Funny, signature of yours.
Yes.
We're still. Yeah, but by the way, you guys, I think you are backed up.
We're doing the business.
We are saying it, but allow me to quote one great coach, whom I'm not going to name, but he says, "Borano Tamalon 11." At the end of the day, you can buy $1 million, but it's 11.
All right. Doug?
How are you, sir? How are you, Zimbabwe? Well, it's another season of great buys and others being let go by their teams. But as the window opens and closes, there are going to be certain disappointments and certain cheerful buys by these teams. Locally and abroad, I believe that teams are looking to strengthen in each and every department, that they believe that if they strengthen in those departments, they can survive relegation, they can stay in the Premier Leagues and also win the championships. But we are looking forward to the end of the season. 11 players, like he said, are on the field of play against the other 11.
That's what we're going to be talking about. And we start from home, of course, where today we look at the local Premier Soccer League. And, of course, in the local Premier Soccer League, it's getting hot and interesting because we have turned the corner into the second half of the season. And I was hoping Bevan and I will have an opportunity to change our initial prediction at the beginning of the season. But already it's hotting up and getting interesting. But let's talk about, gentlemen, Simba Bora, their progression. They've been silent and moving smoothly. Now they sit at the apex. They took advantage of Moors losing against FC Platinum. Now they've got a 3-point gap. That's massive in the title running this is a dot. Your take and your observation looking at the progression Simba Bora have done. I think in the first 6 games already we had rumors of Joel Upatla being given ultimatums, being want to be sent off. But it looks like a team sijadile lapana inenge ayita yaba well-oiled mission.
I was already chokwadi. Chitima chakufamba manje panjanji chayo. All right. When we look at the first 6 games, it was tough for Joel Pasha, but knowing Joel as a good coach, a good tactician, and a person who is calm and cool when the pressure is above the sea level, he was cool and he did his things. As you can see and tell, they brought new players, mainly from Bikita, if I'm not mistaken, from Manika Diamonds. Most of them, they were pushing for the league last season, and now they are again pushing for the league this season. And you can tell the stability. They are not conceding too many goals, and they are scoring, which is a big plus. Then getting the 3 points this past weekend, it was massive, because already they are leading by 3 points, and then Moors are just trying to push, but as I can see, it's for them to lose rather than for them to let Moors pass them.
Can they defend their title? Everybody's talking about how Moors surprised everyone as a surprise package and how they progressed. But for some, it wasn't a surprise because they had a lot of continuity in terms of the players that they had. But also history follows. We can't speak of the future without the history, and we make reference to it all the time. They always say, Lloyd Mtasa chokes. Is this the beginning of the chalk? He has lost 3 consecutive games. And the first time he has lost at 2 consecutive games, the first time he has lost at home against FC Platinum this season.
So you want a response on the Moors or on Simba Bora?
Moors, let's go on Moors. Simba Bora, you come in as them sitting at the apex.
Okay, well, Moors, I think there is no need to press any panic button. It's a side. I know. No. Yeah, unfortunately, people, that's what people want to know and to remember. But I'll tell you, in terms of their style of play, they are a well-drilled side. They play a beautiful brand of football. They are a good side, and they made use of the mid-season window where they brought in Masiwa and Abubakar Moffat, who I personally rate very, very highly. I think is going to come in handy as we go to the run-in. I know it's not going to be an easy task, but if I were part of the setup at this stage, I would go for calm. Yes, you're bound to lose a bit here and there, because as we go towards the run-in, the games become more and more difficult. Why? Because teams are fighting for survival, teams are fighting for, championship. So it's going to be difficult, but I would not really lose sleep over losing to FC Platinum, because you're losing not to minnows, you're losing to actually a tried and tested side. You get it? So yeah, it happens. You can have a bad patch, but it's a patch that they can move from. They just have to make sure. They lost against
Yada, for argument's sake.
Who are, like I alluded to earlier on.
You should mind losing that kind of game.
Yeah, you could put it that way, but you've got to understand, the most dangerous teams to play right now are teams that are fighting for survival. And Yada is one of those. So, and again, you've got to attach respect to Yada, because they play one of the best brand of football locally. Somehow, I don't know why they don't play, they don't find themselves in the apex of the log. They actually play a good brand of football.
Paid travelers.
Yeah, it happened. So I think what's crucial for Moors at this stage is to make sure that their next travel to ZPC Kariba, they're not going to lose that one. They need to make sure that either they get a draw or they win. Then coming to Simba Bora being on top, for me it's not a surprise. I think you remember our conversations earlier on. Quality-wise, I don't think there's a team that matches Simba Bora this season. The recruitment that they did, talk to any coach who's not jealousy, any coach who actually knows his stuff, they will tell you in terms of the assembling of the squad, they assembled the right
bench is scary.
I mean, you've got quality when you look at that bench. So it's really not a surprise. Imagine William Manundo coming from Cape United, scoring double figures season in, season out, but you could not play at Simba Bora. They've got quite. Look at your Webster Tafas. Look at your Mauchis, whom I must admit.
Good it up.
Yeah, I'll get to him, but I was not a believer in Mauchi. I had reservations, but I must take back my words. The lad is good. He's developing. I love the discipline. I love the work ethic.
He's willing to learn. I think it hasn't got into his head.
Yes, and coming.
He's not spoiled like Benza, the Orientals.
Your words, not mine.
I'm just saying. I liked. I think he would have developed better if he had left Orientals. That's one striker I believe. He had potential to really shake up, the Zimbabwean football scene. Yeah,
there are players that maybe when you get to their clubs need to move to really show who they are. But coming to Gurirab is proving to be one of the best imports that we have had in a long time. I had a lot of respect for who's this guy from Scotland, the defensive midfield, who was formerly Janamos.
Or Bochwe.
Answer Bochwe.
Yes.
Is actually a good one. I think the problem, he has got a neck injury. But if Barry, putting aside that, he was a good player. But now I think Gurirab is overtaken. For me, he's proving to be. When you outsource, you need to have somebody who does what Gurirab is doing.
Yes,
he's giving you the goals. And not just ordinary goals, good goals. So for me, I'm not surprised by Simba Bora. They are doing well. And they've got a community that...
What's your take about those sitting at the apex? Simba Bora, 3 points clear of that is title chasers who were sitting at the apex for most of the season. That is Moors, and the defending champions are up where they belong. Let's talk about the Lions, Maviravira, silencing Boso at Rufaro, and they did the same at Emakumeni when they snatched a point at the death of that encounter. Bevan, you were there at that game. And let's talk about them silencing Boso and what it means to their title chase. This could also prove as a humdinger and them winning the 3 points against Chicken Inn. The Chicken Inn didn't contest and they didn't waste the arbitration committee's time and said, we are guilty, let's move on.
They knew what was happening. But I will tell you, if you want to look at the last 2 games that Scotland played, you can see a change. There is now fluidity. There is now cohesion within the players. And if Scotland, I'm going to put my head on the block.
Right.
If Scotland manages to win their midweek fixture, I'm going to count them as serious contenders. In fact, I would actually put my money on Scotland winning that one.
It's TD.
It's TD. But here's the thing with Scotland. You want a team like Scotland at this stage.
Right.
Why do I say so? You've got seasoned campaigners, you've got experienced players that are not, to borrow from your word, going to choke.
Right.
These are players that are going to navigate the waters with ease. You know what I mean? Look, you've got Kamapilliat, you've got Wotamson, you've got God knows Murwira. These are tried and tested winners. They have won things. You get it? They're not going to be fazed by the running. So I think this is where Mabviravira can actually roar and tell you, it's if they win this game at Pikita Minerals,
right,
I'm going to put my man on the block, my head on the block. They're going to win the premiership.
Ruben, let's talk about FC Platinum because they're in the matrix. They've just been awarded, you know, they're likely to be awarded the 3 points against Dynamos of their abandoned match.
That's a given.
And looking into their run-in, if they win these midweek fixtures as well as the weekend fixtures, they're in with a shout in the title race.
As always, Norman Mapesa is dangerous, especially in the second half of the league, of the season. If they win these midweek fixtures, then we've got a team that can cause havoc going towards the end of the season. Remember, they haven't been playing well. They haven't been scoring lots of goals, but they haven't been conceding at the same time, which is a plus for them.
Right.
So they can take the 1-0, 2-0 wins and make sure that they've got the 3 points in the bag. Yes, they've been playing good football, especially away, without the pressure. But at Mandava, they haven't been producing good football. Remember, with the pressure of their own fans, they are very demanding. But I believe now it's going to be part of the. Why
are they not performing at all?
No, it's not about that. What a performer.
Yeah.
Nyangwe mushonga chinzuri ko andidi but mushonga uzuro utamba remember makumbe muna noita te but I've got that belief that Platinum is dangerous.
Bevin, hey, Africa would have won the World Cup.
You see, let me dispel that myth. Let me dispel that myth. You know, it's just, you've got to realize that other races have managed to demonize and vilify African cultures and practices. They have similar, haven't you seen these white guys that you think they are so clean? They have got things that they have everywhere on their bodies. And you think that's not muti, because you think muti, you see, the African way is so clear. Nanga, Ghana, you know, but they have got their own
wishes.
So, if people, what I will tell you, if people would sit and say Mshonga Oshand, fine, it's their school of thought. But then again, are you then saying Utakunavarwe? That's it. It's Mshonga. So you're telling me it can work anywhere else, not in football.
But
I'm saying Mshonga yacho, like we're talking about mysticism here. I'm saying, are you telling me it works in other areas of food, of life, and there's a barrier? You don't cross into football realms.
I
think I need to run a tender for clubs of selling coarse salt. You know? I think I'll make money to every team. Get a 50 kg of coarse salt, Mama. Yeah, we are telling up and all
right, what I can say in Nini, going towards this run-in of the second half of this league, watch out for FC Platinum. If they win tomorrow,
and then
they get the 3 points which they are going to get.
That's
6 points.
6 points.
They're now 6 points behind,
Yeah.
and then they win the next game, they will be 3 points behind.
Yeah.
With the confidence oozing from the coach himself and his technical staff and the players, I can tell you, going to Mandaba, it's not going to be easy for any other team that will be going there.
But
and on
Can we forget?
Bevan,
Can we forget Maroa in the matrix as Tel One, with how they've progressed this season as well in that matrix at the top there?
Yeah, it's one side that you cannot afford to ignore, because you want to look at their position on the log.
Yeah.
They are also in with a shout.
True.
That's true.
But my question is, when you guys are talking about FC Platinum, so what will be happening at Moors? What will be happening at Simba Bora and Scotland? So you're telling me, I hope they will go on a fine run. I think for obvious reasons, I hope they will. But here's my question: what will be happening at Scotland? What will be happening at Moors and
Obviously, dropping points.
Oh my God!
They want to gain points, and also they might drop points.
They might drop.
But we are not wishing for anybody to
drop points.
do.
But what
so.
we are saying is, if
It's
FC
going to, mark my words, it's going to be very difficult, if not impossible, for these two teams in particular,
right,
in fact, these three teams in particular, to drop points. That is Scotland, Moors, and Simba Ball. Watch the space. They are not going to be dropping points. You are joking.
I believe in the last three weeks of the league, I believe we might be having a 4-team horse race.
wow, that would be exciting. It's been long since we had that.
Yeah, FC Platinum, Simba Bora, Moors, and
Tell us.
Scotland. Tell one, they've done well.
They've done well. Huh?
No, I'm just saying.
Saying
we are
4
going-
horse race.
It will be a 4
into the running.
It can go either way.
In the last 3 games, it can go either way of the four.
But now it's gonna be Platinum, Simba Bora, Moors, Scotland. Whoever loses to each of these teams on their own they are gonna be in trouble.
All right, quite interesting. Let's the title chase is as fascinating. Imnandi kanjalo unakidza kadaro title race yacho. Nekuti looking at the top 4 teams, that is evident, but everybody arikutaura wakomana chazunguza chanzwa nekurowa, and apa chiruda kuwina 10 games in the last 14 that are left in the season. Bevan, 10 to survive.
They're what? They are 15 points.
15 points. They need 45.
Not
so
necessarily 40. I don't
they
know.
need 30 points to get it to 45 to survive.
But I think from 40,
Yeah.
this is where.
Yeah, the marker is.
Yeah. Yeah, it's when you look at Dynamos.
On average, you say 10 games. Let's just say.
Okay,
Yeah.
it's okay. I'll let you do the math. I was never a mathematician. But I'll tell you, if you look at the way Dynamos are playing, you struggle to really find where the 10 wins will come from. This is a time where I think it's going to be very sad us losing one of the founding members of the Premier Soccer League. It's the reality is slowly dawning upon us to say we are likely going to lose this giant. And so the sad part is Dynamos is not just a Zimbabwean giant. It's an African giant. If you go anywhere in North Africa.
But Magitara, my sponsors are shying away, and the people that are within his circle, there's rumor that I heard he's going to fire the whole executive.
No, yes, you know what?
Is it too late?
You know what? Yeah, well, changing.
It's already too late.
But my take is, when you've got a problem as big as the one at Dynamos, it can never be an individual.
Right.
Just him. He is part of the problem. Probably he gets the biggest share of the problem. But it's also
The fans.
I look at things holistically. You get it? If Highlanders were going through the same page, right, the fans would be doing things differently.
Yeah, that's true.
You know, I personally, I don't believe in Chirangwa, you know, this apathy thing. You know, having grown up in your identity suburb of Chitungwiza, it was a battle. Like yes, we are toughened. You know, and you are hungry. So you can't then say at the end of the day, deep within you are pained. There are actions that the fans can take.
Let's talk about,
because at the end of the day, Valentine.
You know, I was very child so
it's so painful.
I know.
You get it.
You would say, but it's the reality now on the ground that likely they're going to be relegated.
You want to think. If I ask the two of you, how do you think Dynamos will survive this relegation? Because the problem is the teams that are surrounding them within the murky waters of relegation, the teams that are there, somehow picking points. I think in the past 7 games, Triangle lost just once. I think this past weekend.
Yes, right? they've picked up.
But so when you look at Dynamos and they're like, guys,
where will the wins come from?
This is a team that would beat.
Ruben, let's talk about Chicken Inn. Chicken Inn, like, Vumuza blows hot and cold. A time you think, now they've turned the corner. Next game,
boom.
And they are there in the relegation matrix.
Right. I think for me, Chicken Inn, they tried by all means to assemble a very good young squad, but the experience is not there. You can see they've got the Mashairi, they've got the young brother to Moses Muchenje.
Now they've got a scorer in Linus.
Yeah, I think if they produce the goals, they can survive the relegation. Like what you were saying with Dynamos, 10 games, they cannot go there. Dynamos have only scored 6 goals, but Chicken Inn, they are trying by all means to blow hot and cold, but when they are hot on their heels, they can grind a win. Then you look at Dynamos, whether they are hot or cold, it's going to be one end result, draw or lose.
Wow.
Which means that for me, Chicken Inn, they stand a better chance to fight relegation. And also, Chicken Inn has been a good brand, well managed even by their sponsors. You know, it's a pity that they walked off during that encounter against Scotland. If they had not done that, there would have been 3-4 places up the log. But we look forward to seeing Chicken Inn in the Premier League next season.
Yeah, but allow me to differ a bit with this perspective. Because he says he spoke glowingly in as far as the recruitment of Chicken Inn is concerned.
Right.
But I think that was actually the problem in the first place. They shouldn't be where they are. It was because of poor recruitment in the initial stages of the championship, because they never brought any meaningful player, if the truth be told. Then, when they realized, which I thought Dynamos would have done. Yeah, I know Utalu got a special place for Chicken Inn. I think he's one person that could probably help them.
He helped them because if you listen to his analysis about how different players within that squad, how he knows them and how, you know, every time spot on.
Yeah, I think he's one person that would do. But my point was going to be, I think what Chicken Inn are doing now is what Dynamo should have done.
All right.
To say, now, okay, we messed up at the beginning of the season. Now we've got to bring in serious players. So when you're going to bring the likes of your Leonard Chukwu, you're saying at least you've got somebody who can score goals and get you, even if he's not going to score, he's going to create goals. You get it? But when you look at Dynamos, you can tell that, you know, nothing is going to happen because you can't even trace what is happening. Anyway, so, I mean, who's going to score? Agimeyan.
Well, can I ask you something?
Yeah.
How do you score a goal when you've got the boom boys? You need the ball to be on the carpet all the time. And also, it's not good for Dynamos when you don't have your fans backing you. This is the different thing about Dynamos and Highlanders.
Because the fans, I believe, the fans, if they follow Dynamos, they can make Dynamos survive.
That's true.
With being the 12th man. But the fans have given up. So they opened Dynamos for relegation. I know this Dynamos issue won't end, Bevan.
You are very true, but I just want to say, I want to agree with you. You remember 2005?
Yes.
When it was the fans, because they would come and they knew the situation is bad, terrible, but they were there. They did not go this apathy way. I don't know, because there is this myth that is going around. Say, okay, let the team be relegated. Then certain powers or certain people who are managed and buy it. But here's the thing. Exactly. Is it going to be attractive to investors? Yes. Is it going to be attractive to investors? They need to think that school of thought can be very dangerous. Yes, it can pay dividends. But what's going to motivate whoever they think would want to buy Dynamos? What's going to motivate them? So at the end of the day, I would rather survive relegation and talk about ceding shares if I were the owner.
Right.
In court, the owner.
That's true.
All right, gentlemen, let's talk about Caps United, their revival. Ian Bakala, do you believe he has stabilized that ship? Can Caps United breathe the sign of relief in terms of solving what could have been a messy season for them?
I think Caps United have been their own downfall over the past seasons.
Right.
There are seasons when Caps were supposed to be champions of Zimbabwe, but because of their in-house squabbles, late payments of players, salaries and winning bonuses would always be their downfall. But the coming in of Ian Bakala, it does not mean that the ship is now steady. They are just floating.
The new coach points.
Yeah, you know, everybody's just excited and fighting for their own life. Because remember, if Caps survives, most of those guys who are playing right now at Caps United will not be there next season.
Yeah.
Why?
Most of them are not good enough to play for Caps United anymore. Remember, these guys have been there because of the coach.
Because of which the coach? By the coach, you mean Lloyd?
Legitembwe.
Okay, can I ask you something? When it happens to be an institution that I actually know a lot about. When you say the players are not good enough, we can, because in terms of quality, Caps United ranks are probably in the top 5 in the Premiership. In terms of quality of players that they have, because you go from, I think they've got 2 good goalkeepers. They've got they brought in a defender from Zambia who's doing well. They've got your Brian Kalamanja who's doing well. I think in terms of quality, the players will still be there. I don't think, you know what, sometimes...
It was a case of renewal.
I would put it that way. You know why?
But
if I could finish, you know why? Again, he speaks about maybe late payments or stuff. But I'll tell you, in the past 2 seasons, there have never been those cases at Cape United. They have been financially stable. In the past 2 seasons.
Yeah, that's true.
They have been financially stable. In fact, I would argue they're one of the best.
They even got 1,000 bonus.
Yes, put aside
the papers.
Put aside to borrow your word, the affluent teams. They're probably one of the best taken care of teams welfare-wise. I think Honorable Farajere is doing a very good job in that regard. But of course, the media will always have issues. People will say things. But go find out how much they earn as winning bonus.
Yeah.
Go find out their salaries.
Yeah.
So really, but sometimes what happens in these institutions, we are Africans. Sometimes, like you're saying, renewal is needed.
Yeah.
I had a conversation with the coach who then got elevated to the technical thing. He even said, okay, I have to move on because I've been here for too long. So sometimes institutions can stagnate, not because the people that are there are not good, but sometimes you've got to understand, okay, am I still adding value to the institution?
Right.
When you realize, you can say, okay, for now, let me step aside, maybe refresh and stuff. But I think, coming back to the question, because you asked if Ian had stabilized the ship, I think he has. Why? Are you sure? Yes.
What happens if they lose 2 games in a row?
They're back in the relegation matrix.
Yes, if the question now, this is hypothetical. If it's a possibility.
For now, yes.
But you want I don't want to be hypothetical. I want to look at the things as they are transpiring.
That's why I was saying they are still floating.
it has become no. In terms of the games that they are playing, the way the team is playing.
Yeah, they're playing well.
So if the team is playing well, game in, game out, right? It says the team has stabilized. For me, yeah, because there were games that Cape Verde were losing even before, not because they were playing badly. I think we covered Cape Verde versus T1. They ended up losing by a goal to nil at Ascot, but they could have won by 4 goals to 1.
Yeah.
So sometimes football, certain things happen. That is why I then said I don't want to major much on mysticism.
Yeah, it will remind me of Seco Cement. Very good side. But I don't know what used to happen to that side. They would, at the death of a good game. Concede a late winner and stuff like that. But gentlemen, let's talk about one other big thing that has come to haunt us as Zimbabwe, the issue of stadia, which is problematic. And one stuff I might even in the whitewash, who still uses whitewash? I mean, even for the city council having spent $2 million on that one, mayor, Lingisani ground, that it has suffered down. Let's talk about that.
Naturally, when you go to Rufaro Stadium and you're expecting to see good football, when you just watch the state of the pitch, it's a big turn-off. When you go to Hart Stadium, it's well maintained.
You watch a game.
You watch a game and you like.
Even
the game on its own, you can tell that these teams are playing well. But at Rufaro, you are doubting, is this player good? When he's running with the ball is already bubbling on the pitch is bumpy. It reminds us of the potato field some years back, but now 20 years back. It's
hosting most of the games now.
But now we are saying, if you want Rufaro to be in a good state, why do shortcuts?
Yeah.
Let us have it properly done so that we can watch good football. You know, when we watch the Islanders...
This coming week, Wednesday, Thursday,
Saturday and Sunday.
Monday. Monday, because Scotland is playing Yata on a Monday.
So we've got 5 matches being played in 7 days. It means
4 matches, because I don't think Saturday there's a game,
Yeah, it's 4 matches, huh?
Yeah,
but still 4 matches are too much.
Too much in 5 days.
You know, maybe two matches per week. We can understand that.
You are just talking about the Premiership. You're forgetting that there's Division 1.
Oh, yes.
There's another city will use this.
Ngombe Aora at times. Curtain race for Scotland.
So but that arrangement I think is no longer in place. Okay. But anyway, if you come back to stadia issues, I think the problem here is, first, there's a huge gap between our Division 1 and our Premiership.
Yeah.
So a facility that is good enough for Division 1 should be good enough for Premiership.
That's true.
You get it?
The transition.
So if Makushi is good enough for Division 1 football, I think there are certain teams in the Premiership that should move to that.
Yeah.
I don't think you're going to have so much of a problem if it were Caps and Dynamos sharing Forest Stadium.
Yeah.
It was going to be a bit, But now you've got everybody. There is Scotland there. There is, Scotland will be living anytime. Because, I mean,
they're doing it well.
Yes. Scotland is there, Caps is there, Dynamos there,
Rangers
is there.
Sometimes Yada, when they're hosting big matches.
Yada, you get it. So the problem is, I think there are teams that can
move.
I think if we're going to have Rentals versus Yada at Makushi, I don't see how
that game should have been at Rufaro, isn't it?
Exactly.
But everybody wants to be at Rufaro. That's the problem now.
You see, why? Because we have not developed. I think Rentals now have entered into an agreement to upgrade Zoraseko Stadium. So they will be going to Zoraseko Stadium. Like he's saying, the problem also comes in us cutting corners. I remember the day we were invited as media to go to Rufaro Stadium for the official reopening of
I didn't attend that.
I attended, but the question that all of us had was, what are you opening here? What has been done?
I think it was the car park.
The car park was made. I don't know. We have to to give credit when something is done. The car park is nice. It was a nightmare before because I mean dust and everything. They made that place well. But if you were to ask me, it would have been better for all of us to have had endured the pain of not having football in Rufaro Stadium and wait until such a time that they had laid. You know what they're doing at the National Sports Stadium?
Yeah, exactly.
They're doing the drainage system properly. You're going to have
suspended.
You know what you call it?
Even a suspended pitch.
Exactly. You're going to have a suspended pitch. Rufaro, they literally flood.
Can I ask you something about Rufaro? This is my biggest question. When there was the artificial turf, how do you put artificial turf?
When on a pitch that is not suspended.
Right. There is concrete underneath. A concrete slab. Then the artificial turf, the procedure to reach. Did they remove that concrete? Now this is my question mark. When you look at Rufaro, it shows that it's not green enough even when it's rainy season. The cement is killing the grass.
Yeah.
I don't believe that they removed that concrete.
Yeah, but now, unfortunately, I can't comment. I can't comment on the cement being there or not because I do not know honestly. But what I'll tell you is, I think they are not just doing things right. Because you want to look at grass, for example, grass, in terms of soil depth, how much does it need? You get it? So if you're doing things proper, Valentine, Rufaro, in fact, okay, let me just go back to the point that I've always said anyway. Rufaro Stadium needs to be taken from the hands of the city council to central government. Why? This, for me, no disrespect to any other facility, this is the most important stadium in Zimbabwe historically. The independence of this country was announced in that facility. The flag that we have now was hoisted in that facility. The colonialist flag was pulled down in that facility. So the announcement of the independence, in fact, you get the stadium, I'll rename it April 4th Stadium or Uhuru Stadium, because that is the independent stadium. You get it? It should be run by the central government, and we're not going to have all these issues. You get it? Yes, the city council have done their part at the time. But the city council should win some of these things off their hands. Concentrate on Kwanzaa Stadium. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, because now they've got a new board, so yeah,
things can happen.
So
because there's the new board buoyance.
Exactly. DZ belongs to the council.
All the facilities.
So you've got your Gwanzura.
Let them run those.
Look at the legacy of these stadia. Monomtapa won the premiership using TZ.
TZ, yes.
It's a big story on its own.
Yeah.
There were a lot of titles that were won in teams using Gwanzura.
Gwanzura, yes.
So I mean, look at the teams that you had.
Even Cape United did Dynamos a title at Gwanzura.
At Gwanzura. So what you want,
we'll never forget
what you want is, let's develop other facilities. You had your Denny Bismarck.
Yes,
that's true.
You had your Glamis
Arena. Yes.
You had your DZ Stadium. You had your
Lafarge.
Your Lafarge. So, especially Lafarge. Lafarge, it's so easy to develop. I mean,
that's true.
Lafarge, that's probably the easiest facility.
Chibugu Stadium.
And if, let me just give somebody a tip. Some big shot where's money. If you go and develop...
This is $1 billion advice. But
let's just
all right, share, all right.
But we need that money.
Yeah, if you've got fans, go talk to the Students Council. Go and refurbish Chibugu Stadium. You have a team based there. And tell me if
I think in the Premier Soccer League, most players come from Chibugu.
You get it.
I don't think
there's got lots of talent.
Yeah.
From way back.
So sisatsho njalo xa usanda ukuhlala lathi ngudibana lathi siuhlelo Strictly Football right here and tripo patrutaura zvenhabvu Bora Zimbabwe. And I certainly hope you're enjoying the show. And right now, gentlemen, let's move on to the midweek fixtures that are on. That could shape up the relegation battle as well as the title race. Big match, Simba Bora visiting Telwan in the Midlands. That's a humdig of a match.
Telwan, the team of the season so far, besides saying Moz and Simba Bora or Scotland.
Yeah.
Nobody expected Telwan to be where they are today. Nobody expected to have more scoring more goals also in the league. They are, I think, the third highest scoring team. Yeah. And also they are not letting them in at the same time. The coaches have done a great job. Andifunge kuti parikuenda Moz Simba Bora. They are going there for just 3 points on a silver platter. Yes, I'll tell you this. Simba Bora are going to win that match. They will.
They will.
This is their time. They are on a good patch.
All right.
They haven't lost in the last 5 games. They've won 3 games, drawn 2, which is very, very massive. And also, they know that they are on top of the log, and they want to keep on pushing. They know that
they're worried about conceding. He's saying it's
but they're not conceding. They're not conceding that much. Remember, sometimes you're also playing a very good team.
Oh, you were saying they're conceding. Him and Scotland, the Simba Bora in Scotland, they're worried that they're conceding first as much as they're turning around the games, which could be problematic with other tougher teams.
Right. Remember also, in the last few games, T1 haven't been pushing well. Okay. They've been conceding early also in their home ground, only to come from behind to gain a point or to snatch a victory. But with Simba Bora, I don't see this thing happening.
Right.
Yes, it's going to be a tough match. They will suffer, Simba Bora. They are going to suffer. I'm going to tell you this. They will suffer for this victory.
But you're giving them a hard-fought victory.
T1 will play a very good game, but luck will not be on their side.
Perfect. Abantwana be-special class. Dynamos, Manika Dynamos.
You see, unfortunately, I'm not saying Dynamos, winning, because I know that
this is an opportunity for Dynamos to get 3 points. And Manika to get 3 points as well.
Will Dynamos get the 3 points?
I know, Uti, there are some developments
at Manika
Dynamos.
All right.
So, and as a result of those developments, they would not want the team to go down.
That's true.
Quality-wise, they actually have a good team. They have a team that is well capable of beating Dynamos. And at this rate, I'm not seeing Dynamos beating anyone. So
now we should start dreaming about a league without Dynamos.
It's possible.
It's becoming a reality. There was never a point in my growing up. There was never a point that I would think of such a happening.
Are you a very fair person?
I'm a very fair person.
You're a very fair person.
You know me.
So would you, adulterate the relegation matrix or relegation and promotion matrix to save Dynamos? Are they worth it? I'm just envisaging and looking at, can we live without Dynamos?
Yeah, well, in terms of living without Dynamos, that is possible. Even football to proceed without Dynamos is possible. You've got to understand, life is changing.
Right.
Things are changing. But, there are certain legacies that you don't want. This is the most successful team in the history of football in Zimbabwe.
Yeah.
Southern Africa also.
It's going to be said. About Southern Africa, you can't,
we cannot say
you can't put them in the
Champions League
as your Mamelodi Sundowns.
But in terms of trophies,
but they are a giant. They are a giant, an African giant. It's going to be said. So if there was a way, probably it could have happened. But now I'm trying to see how they can be saved. But I don't see them beating Manika Dynamos.
All right. Hey. zvakaoma. Chazunguza. Choenda unotambira pasi pemuti. Chakasheka.
Chikuzungudzwa kunge chikari chewawa.
Chakasheka.
Hey, kuba kuhlungu inhliziyo yami lapha, eh? But
So imagine a Harare derby. The Harare derby now keeps well, there is Scotland, maybe. Maybe kept that versus Scotland. I was thinking Harare derby.
Still Scotland was blue.
Yeah, well, maybe. So I was thinking Harare derby, you say kept that versus Yada.
Oh, that's the Harare derby.
No disrespect to Yada, you know.
Then Zimbabwe
football,
derby.
I enjoy their games.
Zimbabwe derby, no more Daramos Islanders.
Yeah, no,
The Battle
of Cities is now taking on.
Ah, man.
Maybe the Battle of Cities will be.
But let's talk about before we go that. Let's look at your look into the newcomers into the Premiership. Looking at what's happening in the different regions, because there are exciting teams that are knocking, that are looking to be promoted into the Premiership Soccer League next season. Northern region, quite exciting. It's intense there. Yeah. Mombeaora, Black Rhinos, and others, they time battling it out. Eastern region as well, another humdinger. There's what we call hunters there. You know, they really want it as well. It was just the other big one in the Eastern region that is also knocking as well. Southern region, oh my goodness. Bulawayo Chiefs wants to come back. So,
where is Tenax in that Eastern region matrix?
Yeah,
they're not bad.
They're not bad. But, but there's this new one.
Which one?
No, you don't zip in the nan. You know, spins are
from Eastern region.
From Eastern region. This one would definitely upset the apple cart. Their recruitment, and you know, now Scotland is Northern region. Those are Eastern.
Because I know there is Tenax, there is Wangumazots who have gone. They have.
Hunters.
Yeah, they have hunters. Hunters is that in that region?
I think
Hunters is also pushing.
Hard Rock.
Hard Rock. But Hard Rock is in the Eastern.
It's
much central.
Is it not?
No. Hard Rock is in the Eastern.
Is it not Northern?
Hard Rock.
Yeah, it's Eastern.
Hard Rock. Hard Rock is central.
Oh, it's central region. Yes. So it's so central again. That's another exciting region.
They're the guys that have
Chawanda. Yes, those
Chawanda.
ones we need them. Post to the stadium.
Yeah, to the ground.
To the ground. Then Southern region. But people haven't forgiven them for selling a franchise to Moss. But another exciting battle there.
Yeah, and but the ninjas are coming back.
Yeah, you think the ninjas are coming back?
We need them. They are more organized.
More organized. Yeah. So, and now let's look at the new teams in how have they performed. Moss, Scotland, they were the new boys. We also had Kwekwe struggling, and then and which one? Bikita.
I think
Triangle came back. Yeah.
Kwekwe, the problem is the owner should have maybe at the right stage
made a good business decision.
Yes, and he should have known that the terrain is very, very difficult to maneuver in Zimbabwe if a team is individually owned.
Right.
Hence, I've got a lot of respect
for Farajer.
Your Farajeres, your Honorable Benzas, your Magayas. Yeah, of course, I've got respect for Honorable Scott Sapkwani. He has changed the fact. People can say what they want, but Scotland have brought a different dimension to football.
Let's say that I need to say this point, guys. The match between Scotland and Highlanders should have seen how these guys are on a massive marketing drive. Scotland, they had a mini shop placed outside with their regalia, not jerseys only. Caps, scarves, t-shirt, caps, everything. It was there, packed for the fans.
And they are buying.
Then they eat in a 7 million.
So I've got respect for these men who are doing that. So I think he should have known, and there are a lot of financially very, very sound guys in Midlands. Should have partnered with those guys. The team would have been stable because they have a large area of influence to get players from. So maybe he thought he could go it alone, but then he found it to be difficult and I think a little bit too late. So it's going to be tough. Now there is Adruk. I think that is where there is Luke Petros and Prince Mator. So those are seasoned campaigners that are going to get that team promoted.
Remember Prince Matore was with Kwekwe United when they got promoted also.
Yeah, he knows this, how to go the terrain.
And Luke has also gotten, I think it was promoted.
Again,
he's a good coach. I used to like their brand. They never used to get the player. I don't think they invested. They did give him. But now with the team in Egemari, I just know.
Even Pangari chicken in our assistant was Joey Antipas. It was like they went together to SA some time back also.
So you've got to look at that. So I think that's where Kwekwe are going to regret. Then Triangle is tricky.
Yeah.
Triangle can survive.
All right.
That can happen. Pikita, I think the project is good, but it's being raided now.
You have to speak of Scotland. Pikita leave them, they are returnees. They were there last,
the new boys.
The new boys.
Oh, Scotland.
Scotland.
Scotland. They have set this stage
and Moors, and finally Moors.
They have staged the set alight. They set the stage alight. We cannot, it's one thing not liking people, but it's also another thing, maybe appreciating what people do. So people should learn to
breath of fresh air to our football.
These guys, they've brought, look at the crowd that was there when Scotland were playing Cape United, when Scotland were playing Dynamos. So even when they're playing, whoever they're playing, they've got a sizable crowd. So I think they're doing very well. Maybe mistake that people usually make is because of the big name players. They then don't want to look at them as minnows or new boys in the Premiership.
But they're still new.
They're new. Moors. There's another side that is doing more or less the same with what Scotland
they did well. Gave us a stadium.
They brought
a very good one.
Yeah, they brought a facility which is nice, which is okay. They've got a community. It's actually one of the best supported teams. Did you know that?
Yeah,
but remember one thing. The good thing about Moors, I just want to give appreciation to the Norton community.
Yes.
They did not want Moors. They supported Norton community. But when Moors were promoted, they shifted.
They took
over.
Yes.
It's their home team. They support it with their wholeheartedly.
Right.
With for me, Moors, let's say the season ends here for those newly babies, the four. Moors are the champions for me. Nobody gave them a platform that they could be where they are today. Remember, they did not start preparations early than any other team, but they were yet to buy the franchise from Wanke.
Any days yet, you'll find of the second half of the season, new signings that you feel are going to shine and change fortunes for teams. I know Scotland signed 2, Caps 2, Moors 2 as well. Your take of those that have been brought in by this for the turnaround of the season, who is likely to have a greater impact? As we conclude, gentlemen.
I've seen Mugalu doing well for Cape United. He has lifted the spirits. I mean, he showed. Ishmael Wadi for me is also very good. But many people are yet to see if he stays around for some time. People will remember this. The boy that was brought by Moors, who scored Abubakar Mufad, the boy is quite a talent.
Right.
You need to watch him and you will see he's just something else.
Scotland, Terence Zukamaja, Shindulu, Mabea.
I believe that Zukamaja did himself justice by scoring a brace against Highlanders. When you are coming from South Africa and everybody is expecting big things from you, for Scotland, they needed a big game player. Because remember, Kamabilia hasn't been himself of late. But we hope that especially the guys that they brought from Namibia and the other one from Malawi, they come to the party. But I don't think they can. Because those two leagues are not above Zimbabwean League. The standard there is not the same as here.
But we had Joseph Kamwende at some point.
We are going to talk about
from Malawi and
guys. But those guys were talented.
Yeah, but
So, guys, we're going to talk about the flop of the season in terms of these new signings on another episode. Because if we get into that, fraud. Abona olunye ludlala lapha ngelokhuzeni weekend omabia. Guys, we have to go. But I certainly hope you did enjoy today's edition of Strictly Football. I must thank my two guests, Ruben Duck, thank you very much for making time on his debut. We loved it and I certainly hope you'll be back for more.
I appreciate it. I appreciate Zimbabwe.
All right, Bevan, always, I love arguing with you all the time, but thank you for making time.
It's always a pleasure, my guy. Let's take it to radio.
We'll take it to radio. So there you have it. From the crew behind the scenes, my name is Valentine Mabuk. Till next time, it's bye-bye.